Hello, how are you? Got a message for you. Hello, I want you to like this page and share it. Like it and share it. Got a message for you that I feel that will be of value to you. Let people know that Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy is ready to fire you up. I heard a song and it really touched me and made me grunt, and it really talked about the value of being aware of proximity when people are close to you, when they're in your circle, and it can be positive or it can be toxic. And it's a song that when I heard it, I said, whoever wrote that, what he wrote that was deep. I'm going to tell you in just a minute. What's that young lady's name who did that song? Ask owner.
Jill Scott.
Jill Scott. Yeah, I'm going to talk. I'm going to speak from that place. Because today, it's about partnerships. Today, it's about developing relationship capital. Today, one of the most important moves you can make is working your net and increasing your net worth. And so I'm going to talk to you about how that can make a dramatic difference in your life. I want you to check Hazik and see how the volume is coming through on your phone, please. Yes. So I want you to like this page and share it, because today, that as you look at yourself, look at your goals, and look at your dreams, having strategic partners, very important. People that you can learn from, people that you can grow from, people that will help you to get access to things that you don't have, knowledge that you don't have, resources that you don't have, and accelerate your growth and development mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. I want you to like this page and share it. Like it and share it. Because a lot of people, particularly entrepreneurs, don't, these are the ones that are starting out soon and early, don't realize why major corporations have boards. Why? A board of directors. Why? Because of the resources, the knowledge, the abilities that they bring to the table. I want you to bring me one of those cloths over there because I'm perspiring, and make that faster for me, please. And so, as you think about your goals and dreams, I want you to think about that. I want to give you some tips of things to look for in creating positive relationships, because you're looking for certain kind of people that have integrity, people that have abilities and talents that you don't have. Thank you. People that have contacts that you don't have, people that have knowledge that you don't have, and people that are behind doors that you want to get into. Like this page and share it, because we're talking about the power of proximity, the power of relationships. And one of the things that I'm doing now is partnering with people who have things that they want to do. And I could have gotten here faster when I look at my life as a speaker. If the guys that were at the top had been willing to partner with me, I could have gotten here much faster, but they saw me as competition. Well, the truth of the matter is, there's enough for everybody. Isn't that good news? So when you practice the principle of OQP, only quality people, as you begin to realize as an entrepreneur that you have to consciously be engaged in a talent hunt, looking for people that have some abilities and talents that you don't have, and that can help you get to the next level, and you can help them get to the next level. That you do a vetting process to determine what is it that you bring to each other. Once you like this page and share it, like it and share it, because when I think about my career, I cannot tell you the number of speaking engagements that I've gotten because of, and most people don't realize this, when I look at training contracts that I've gotten, speaking engagements that I've gotten, it happened not because of some marketing strategy or some branding strategist. No, it happened 95% of speaking contracts and training contracts happen and come about because of personal recommendation. That's how it happens. Personal recommendation. And so when you are able, people say it's not what you know, it's who you know. George Fraser said something from FraserNet. No, it's who you know and what they know about you. Because if they know you to be a flake, they won't accept your phone call. If they know you not to be a person of resource and integrity, they won't recommend you. So your reputation is very important. I want you to write this down. Reputation. If you were in a room and talking with people and you had to leave the room for a minute to go to the restroom, what will be the conversation about you? What will be the scuttlebutt about you until you came back to the circle? That's very important. How do people see you? That's very important. The standard that you hold yourself to, that's major. A friend of mine, he decided to go into ministry in Chicago. And I was amazed at how full of profanity his conversation was. And I said, man, do you do this every day? Do you talk to everybody like this? He said, well, I'm not in the pulpit. I said, listen, what you do privately, people see that. And you're wondering why you have so many empty chairs here. You've got to be consistent with your message. You got to hold yourself to a higher standard. Well, people know I curse a lot. I want to be a cursing preacher. Is that right? Oh, okay. And that's why you can shoot in here and not hit anybody. There are people that don't understand the value of consistency, the value of being in alignment privately with who you are promoting yourself to be publicly. And so I want you to like this page and share it, because I'm going to share some things with you that's very important in terms of vetting, in terms of selecting people that you want to align yourself with, and in terms of finding someone that can help you to go to the next level. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she told me that she'd hired this person to be a coach. And this person's convinced her that he could help her be known nationally and globally. I said, is that right? She said, yes. I said, how did you find out about him? She said, I saw him online. But had you known about him before then? She said, no. I said, so how's he going to teach you how to do something he's never done? You never heard about him, but he's going to make it possible for everybody to hear about you. Okay? And then you will come to me and say, I want you to help me, but I spent all my money with him. I said, you got jokes, baby. Like this page and share it. Like it and share it. And so, as you look at yourself and look at your goals, one of the very important things, if I talk to the young Les Brown, putting a team of people together that had an interest in the area that I had an interest in, that's their passion. I was just checking someone out I'd hired to do some work for me, and I asked him, I just said casually, what's your passion? And he named 4 things. I asked him, first he named one thing. I said, okay, it's not what I hired him to do. And I said, is there anything else that you're passionate about? He named something else. I said, okay, is there anything else? He named something else. I said, is there one other thing that you are passionate about? He named something else. Those top 4 things that he was passionate about, they were not the things that I was paying him for. Guess what? I'm looking for somebody who's passionate about the work that I'm paying him for. And I remember a sign when I was going to New York, and I just saw it briefly. It was on a billboard, and the sign read, "We don't train our people to be nice. We hire nice people." And that's a great thing. And so when I look for people that I want to work with, I'm not interested in training a person how to be hungry, how to be passionate, how to be unstoppable, how to be relentless, how to take initiative, how to make things happen, how to make a way out of no way. I'm looking for that kind of person. I'm not interested in training somebody to do that and to be that and how to show up like that, because that's not who they are. That's not who they are. And so, like, Southwest Airlines, they hire personalities, and then the rest they train you. But they're looking for someone with personality and a little quirk in that personality that will sing those little corny songs and make those little corny announcements. And so when you have a goal and a dream and a business that you want to build, you want people that's going to be in alignment with your culture, that you're looking for, that can be a great business developer, that can be a good person for recruiting, a person that have people skills, a person who love people, who love to interact with people. That's who they are. And when you begin to hold yourself to a higher standard of the people that you want to be a part of your team, the people that you want to be a part of your business, the criteria that you're looking for, those characteristics that you're looking for, when you hold yourself to that, your possibilities are unlimited as to the kind of team that you can organize. Like this page and share it. Like it and share it. I'm talking about relationship capital. I'm talking about working your net as well as networking. I'm talking about building powerful relationships that can help you go in the direction of where you want to go faster. One goose can fly 75% further in formation with other geese than it could ever fly by itself. And so as you think about your goals and think about your dreams, make a list of people that you want to have a relationship with, and write down, hey, no, excuse me, Hazik, no, I can hear that over here, don't want that, all right? You want to make a list of people and what you want them to embody. What are the qualities that you want them to have? And you want to watch them and observe them for 90 days. For 90 days to see, are you dealing with that person or are you dealing with the presenter? That's very important, because most people are presenters. They'll present to you what they feel that you're looking for until they become a part of your team. And then after a while, you'll see the real thing. And it usually takes less than 90 days for you to begin to see the real person. And so when you look at that, my mentor, Mike Williams, and this is something that I'm inquiring you, when you think about a mentor, Mike Williams, I selected him for 3 reasons. Number 1, I knew he was a person of integrity. I knew that he was a person that he's punctual, he's on time. And I knew that he's a person that honored his word as himself. And I knew he's a great speaker. That's why I admired him. And I wanted to speak like him. I wanted the knowledge and the skill and the ability and how to create the level of credibility with an audience and how to connect with that audience and hold them and create a committed listening. I saw that. And so when you look for a mentor, you want to have someone that's experienced, someone that represent themselves in the way in which you want to be represented, who hold themselves to a higher standard. You want somebody that reflects your personality. I can't have people around me who are rude to people because I'm a friendly person. I have to have people around me who have finesse. I can't have people around me who know less than I do. I remember being a part of a committee, and we went to T.D. Jakes' church in the Potter's House in Dallas, Texas. And the bishop, when he came in, he looked around the table and he said something I'll never forget. He said, as soon as I know as much, no, excuse me. He said, as soon as I know as much as the rest of you around this table, you're fired. And the room was quiet. I said, whoa. What he was saying, hey, the reason you're here, you have some knowledge, you have some skills, you have some resources, you have some contacts that I don't have. The reason that you're here, that you are to be an asset for me and for my ministry and for my vision and for my goal and for what I want to achieve. And so you don't want yes people around you. You want people around you that can bring the best out of you. People around you that will challenge you. People around you that will stretch you. And people around you that's knowledgeable, that can translate things for you. That when I think about one of the gifts I have as a speaker, it was trained and instilled in me by Mike. Mike said, Brownie? I said, yes. He said, never let what you want to say get in the way of what an audience needs to hear. He said, find out what they want to hear. Pay more attention, Brownie, to the listening than to your speaking. Conduct communications intelligence. Don't be a talking head. Don't be one of those people who get up and regurgitate some speech that they've memorized and do everywhere. I'm going to train you how to speak to the world. Don't put yourself in a box, so that you have the versatility and flexibility to use your story, to use information, inspiration, to use humor and different strategies in the context of your speaking to create an experience strategically that will transform people individually and collectively. Now, I had the gift for gab, but I didn't have the strategy, I didn't have the knowledge, I didn't have the ability, the flexibility, and versatility to speak to any type of audience. And so the reason that I hired him, because I didn't know what I didn't know. And I wanted to know. I remember the first time I spoke for Procter & Gamble, and I spoke to this sales team. A friend of mine, Vanessa Weaver, that's her name. She got a contract with Procter & Gamble speaking, and I went in, and this was in my element, and she had me speaking to a group of salespeople, and that was perfect for me. And so I said, look at somebody on your right and left, shake their hands and say, we're going to increase our sales and take it to the next level. And everybody did it, and it was rah-rah, touchy-feeling. And then she was observing me, and she had another person with her. She took me to another room, and this was engineers. And so as I began to speak, I said, I want you to shake someone's hand on your right and left and say, you have greatness in you. And they just sat there and looked at me. Excuse me? No. I said, shake someone's hand on your right and left, look them in the eyes, and say, you have greatness in you. And they started looking at each other. What are you talking about? Engineers don't do that. They're not touchy-feely. But I didn't know. That was my first experience in that type of environment. I didn't know what I didn't know. And as a result, I didn't get that contract because I didn't do my research. I didn't know what I did not know. And so when you have people on your team that got your back, when you have people on your team who know more than you and who are willing to share it with you, who are willing to coach you, and you got to be willing to be coachable and be willing to listen. A team is very important. Like this page and share it. So as we look at ourselves today, more so than ever before, and we're heading toward a recession. That's what the rumor is in the financial markets. Well, when you have a team of people that you can work with that bring some knowledge, abilities, and resources to the table that you don't have, then that makes you more resourceful. Recessions restores resourcefulness. And when you have people that you can brainstorm with, people that you can work things out and look at them from different perspectives, who bring different views and different mindsets and different skills and knowledge, then it gives you a sustainable competitive advantage, as Warren Buffett would say, and allows you to be able to reach your goals. You have something special. You have greatness in you. And no one develops greatness being solo. No. Michael Jordan, he was a bad brother, but hey, he was surrounded by some great people on that Chicago team that it made it possible for him to look good. No one person can beat a whole team. And so that the Scottie Pippen was major in those championships. Like this page and share it. Like this page and share it. And as you look at your goals and look at your dreams, I'm encouraging you to think about who is it you need to partner up with. If you knew everything, you would have already been successful. If you knew, that's why Einstein, who was recognized one of the greatest brains in the history of the world, he said, the thinking that has brought me this far has created some problems that this thinking can't solve. I remember a club in Columbus, Ohio, when I was a disc jockey there, and there was a club called the Club Utopia. And Larry, this guy knew how to put together a first-class nightclub, but he didn't know how to run it. He was not a nice guy. And as a result, he didn't hire somebody nice. He tried to do it himself. And his mindset was, hey, I must be smart. I must know something. At least I got a club and you don't. Only thing you got going for you is being nice and how to manage a staff. So he didn't know what his skill set was. He had the money and he had an eye of selecting the site and the property and having it built first class. And he went out of business several times. Why? Because he didn't know his strength and he did not have the level of awareness to hire a team of people with him that can help him take his club to the next level. And I've seen it all over the place. People in all types of businesses. And so as you look at yourself, look at your goals and dreams, be on a talent hunt. Look around. Who are some of the people that you can vet, that you can watch, that you can observe, that you want to talk with and feel them out and watch them and observe them and get some references and find out, would this be a good fit? And see if your personalities gel. And as you do that, now it doesn't mean that you're going to be right all the time. And you give yourself 90 days. Give yourself 90 days to check them out and see how the relationship works. Because somebody can have all the credentials and look good on paper, but the energy is not there. See, it's strategy and there's a synergy with the energy. And if the people don't have the right energy, it can't work. It cannot work. I'm telling you what I know. I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. Like this page and share it. Like it and share it. So the other piece is this. Not only do you want to vet people and be on a talent hunt continuously, but there are people that's available to you nationally, locally, and internationally. There are people in other countries, and because of the computer eliminates geography. I've had people to do some work in other countries, never seen them, just heard their voice, and they did the work and it costs 50% less, because in that country, that's a lot of money. I talked to one guy that's going to become a part of our team. He's a doctor. He earns $100 a month in the country that he's in. He's so excited to partner with me. I'm doing a business that will allow people to change their financial future. And in order to do that, is your vision of yourself. It requires the discipline. It requires persistence. You've got to be coachable. And you want to have a team of people that share your vision, that's in alignment with you. A team of people where you have one vision, one goal, and one determination to galvanize the energy to do the things that's necessary, that you can all begin to move forward and to dominate. When I do something, my goal is not to do it casually and be one of the players. My goal is to be a dominant player, not to be put in a box, not to just be a player. My goal when I do something, when I work with people, I was training somebody the other day, and I said, my goal is not to train you to be a speaker. I want you to be in your niche where you are the speaker, that people look at you and say, hey, who taught you how to do that? How to bring your personality out? How to tell your story like that? And I remember the first time that I went to Florida A&M University when I was at Booker T. Washington High School, and we went to the drama festival. And when we came in, all the students that came in, there were professors watching us, and I heard somebody said, those are Leroy Washington's students. And one of the professors said, how do you know? By the way they dress, by the way they carry themselves, by the way that they communicate. And wherever Mr. Washington moved in the state of Florida, and they had the Elks Oratorical Contest, that's where the winners came from, because he was a great director. He knew how to pull your personality out and your voice. He knew how to teach you how to create dramatic moments in the context of a monologue and to be dominant when you hit the stage. They would say, hey, that's Wash boy. I said that's a short term for Leroy Washington. That's one of Wash's boys. And so when you look at yourself, look at your goals, look at your dreams, find people that's in alignment with your standards, people who believe in what it is that you're doing, people who share your vision. Listen to them. Spend 90 days watching them and observing them. They'll tell you who they are in 90 days. Years ago, there was a song by the Platters called, Oh Yes, I'm the Great Pretenders. And there are many pretenders out here. But you don't have time for that. You don't have the mental bandwidth for pretenders. You want to deal with people that are consistent, people that are committed, and people that are willing to be a part of the journey. This thing called life, it's a journey. It's not a sprint. No. It takes time. It takes guts. Dexter Yeager said, no guts, no glory. And so part of what I'm doing now is looking for some people who for years, I talked to a person today, he said, man, I've been listening to you since I was 6 years old. I said, how old are you now? He said, man, I'm 52. I said, whoa, my God. I said, I'm old as dirt. Oh, my God. I'm looking for people whose thoughts have been influenced by my thinking, whose mind has been impacted by my voice. I'm looking for people who could hear me, not just in their ears, but in their heart, and they have a hunger to reinvent themselves. They have a hunger to take their lives to another level. They have a hunger to change their lives. When I got into this area here, I had a hunger to take care of my mother. I had an agenda. See, if you don't have an agenda for your life, You'll become a part of somebody else's agenda. I had an agenda. There was something I wanted, and I was singly focused. And I aligned myself with Mike Williams because he saw what I saw plus more. He saw more in me than I saw in myself. And he helped me with a strategy. And when I flaked out, when I wasn't consistent, he got me on point. You need someone who will call you on your stuff. And so if you're ready to be coached, if you're ready to be mentored, if you're hungry to change your life, to change your situation, to transition out of a job where they pay you just enough to keep you from quitting and you work just hard enough to keep from getting fired. If you're ready to control your own personal economy, to do something meaningful with your life, to live a life of significance, a life that has impact, a life that will outlive you. Those are the kind of people I'm looking for. I'm not looking for everybody. If you're one of those people that when I speak, you could hear me, when I spoke when you were in a difficult situation, that it resonated with you. You're part of my tribe. You're the ones that I'm looking for, because most people don't make themselves available to listen to information that can transform their lives. Most people think they already know everything. My high school theme at Booker T. Washington High School, when we graduated, the theme was, and I don't think anybody else remembers this but me, because I was a person into quotes. And the quote that when we graduated in 1963 from Booker T. Washington High School in Miami was, "You never find out how much you know until you find out how little you know." Listen, I'm looking for some business partners. I want you to text the word hungry to 770-637-7472. I want you to text hungry to the word, I want you to text hungry to 770-637-7472. Now, when you think about your goals and dreams, here's something that I want to share with you that a lot of people miss out on. There's no straight path to achieving your goals. A goal and a dream has a life all its own. There's so many twists and turns. So many things will happen that you just can't imagine. Years ago, a guy named Garnett Mims, he had a song called Merry-Go-Round. This life is like a merry-go-round, but I think more so, it's like a roller coaster. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Okay, it's a roller coaster, and it's a thrilling ride if you're doing something that turns you on, something that excites you. Now, I'm going to Columbus, Ohio. I fly out tomorrow. So I get a chance to see my granddaughters and my daughter Serena and my son-in-law Will and my son Patrick. And I'll be able to see Trey, my great-grandson, and Tatum, my granddaughter. Well, I got a lot of grandchildren and children there. Tad, Talia. And the thing is that the excitement of speaking to 7,000 to 8,000 people in Columbus, Ohio on Thursday, where I was a disc jockey on WVKO radio station, where I was a community activist, where I was elected to the Ohio legislature from the 29th district. To be able to return there and to be on a stage before 7,000 to 8,000 people who remember me when I was Les Brown, the man about town, LB Triple P, when they had the Jamaica Club on Mount Vernon Avenue and the Club Utopia on Main Street and the Bottoms Up Club in Whitehall. I was a whole different person. Oh my God, what I think about it. And here's why I'm sharing this with you. There are dimensions of yourself that you haven't seen yet. And when Paul said, I must die daily, I think that we must die daily to who we are to give birth to who we can become. I remember speaking at Disney, and a guy was in the kitchen named Covington I went to school with, and he played football. And he heard that I was going to be there, and Big Cov came out, and he said, man, I can't believe it's you. And what Cov realized as he looked at me with amazement, the guy that he knew, Les Brown, that guy was gone. He came out of the kitchen and stood in the back and watched me. The guy he knew no longer lived here. And here's what I know about you. That Simba, you're more than what you have become. That was not just for Simba. You are more than what you have become. I don't say this theoretically. I live this. I know this. I don't know you, but here's what I do know. The only reason you're watching me is because you know I'm right. You don't believe I'm right. You know, you can feel it in your heart that you can do more. You can feel it in your heart that the best is yet to come. You can feel it in your heart that you haven't done your best stuff yet. You can feel it in your heart. You know it. You can't explain it. Doesn't make any sense. But you know it. And I'm saying to you, people say, life is short. No. It's not short. It's just most people just take too long to live. It's not short. Most people take too long to start living it on their terms. And so if you're ready to do what Helen Keller said, she said life is either a daring adventure or it's boring. I'm inviting you to become a part of an achievement-driven, collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships. Collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships. I want you to text the word hungry. Text hungry to 770-637-7472. Text hungry to 770-637-7472. Because this is a different time. Things are changing. Artificial intelligence replacing people every day at an accelerated rate. Alvin Toffler said this is a time where you have to unlearn, relearn, and learn again. That's where we are. You have to run just to stand still. A lot of people are intimidated by that. Guess what? Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. Don't be ye just hearers of those words. Be ye also doers of it. See yourself as an adventurer. That you're willing to bet on you, to become a risk taker. Because you can do more than you can ever begin to imagine. I had no idea. I feel so blessed that Mike Williams saw this Les Brown before I saw him and called him forth, and that I was willing to listen. Most people are not coachable. Most people are not willing to listen. And I feel so fortunate to have been at Champion Junior High School in Columbus, Ohio, when he was coming down the steps, and I talked to him, and he took an interest in me and called me on a Saturday and became my newsman. And between records, he talked to me and expanded my vision of myself. See, when you're in a community of collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships, it expands your vision of yourself. People that you can learn from, people that you can grow from. They did this study, and I was at Cancer Centers of America, and thank you, Lord. Thank you, Dr. Taha, the oncologist there, He said, Mr. Brown. I said, yes, sir. He said, your PSA is as low as it can get. You have the PSA of a baby boy. PSA stands for prostate specific antigen. Now you're looking at somebody whose PSA was 2,400. All right? So you know that was good news. I said, I would have kissed him, but he had a ring on his finger. Oh, behave, whatever. And he said, man, you look good. And your health is strong. Man, what are you doing? Whatever it is, keep on doing it. They looked at what's a determinal factor that allowed people to live longer. I thought it would be a plant-based diet. I thought it would be exercise. I thought it would be vitamins and herbs or eating organic foods. You know what number one is? Positive connective relationships, social interaction. And guess what can short circuit your time on the planet? Being involved in toxic relationships. I heard this song. Listen to the title. I feel alone whenever you are around. Good God from Zion. What's that girl's name again?
Jill Scott.
Jill Scott. Oh my, who wrote that? Come on, somebody. I feel alone whenever you are around. Oh my God. See, it's better to be alone than to wish you were. Oh, stop it. Stop it. Behave yourself. And, and there are people who are dying together rather than living together. When you come into this community, when you text hungry to 770-637-7472, that's text hungry to 770-637-7472, you're going to become a part of a community of collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships. Not crabs in a barrel. Supportive relationships, iron sharpening iron, where you learn from each other, grow from each other, pushing each other, stretching each other, have a single focus on what we want to achieve. Lifting ourselves out of an entertainment-driven consciousness. Oh, who you think will win the playoff, or who you think is going to make it to the championship, and can't even afford the tickets to the sport that they're talking about? You're a spectator. You were not born to be a spectator. That's why you're listening to me. Everything I'm saying, you already know it. It's common sense, but not common practice. And sometimes we need somebody to speak to us to create a shift in our thinking. Because as we do that, some you can get sucked in by life. And you start determining what's possible for you, looking at life through your mistakes, through your disappointments, through your setbacks, through the disappointments and failures of the past. You can't unscramble those eggs. No. Forgetting those things which are behind, reaching forth unto those things which are before, and press toward the mark of your higher calling. You're here for a reason. that have been listening to me. And I made a difference in their lives. To work with them up close and personal, with my daughter Honor and my sons Patrick and Hazik and the other individuals that are part of